I'm not here to comment at the moment about it.
Would you want to hear from Irv?
Yeah, sure. Words of peace.
John and Shanti just here to support their brother or their friend. You know, I didn't bring them. They're not here to answer any questions because I know it's probably a lot of questions y'all got for these two. So, I mean, as far as that goes, is words of peace. Everything in 50 is quiet. I think the conversation with Farrakhan, I think it brought it to a nice place where we don't have to say anything more about him. Hopefully he won't say anything more about us. And maybe it could just die down. And I think that's where it's at right now. Yes.
Hi, from ABC Radio. What will be the first official release on the new The Ink?
Well, it's already one in stores. Ashanti's Christmas album was titled The Ink. So it was something that me and Russell talked about a lot after the conversation with the minister about doing this press conference, because I was already putting in motion of changing The Ink. Her album's in stores now, her Christmas album. If you look, it says The Ink Records. But, you know, we wanted to kind of get it out there so everyone knows. Hit it on. Russell, my God.
Well, is there significance that it's a Christmas album? It's an album of peace and love? And
It was just the next album. You know, it could have been Blood in My Eye, and it could have been, you know, it was just the next album. But it is a great, peaceful album, though. I'm going to get all the hands in the way. Yes.
Michael Harris, Source Magazine. What was your reaction to the Eminem tapes, and do you think his written reply was a formal apology?
My reaction to the Eminem tape, I'm gonna first say that, you know, I love black women, man. I got a mother. I got 5 sisters. I'm the youngest of 8 kids with 5 sisters. So I've been around black women all my life. So I'm a defender of black women. The Ink Records is defenders of black women. You can listen to our records, Put It On Me, Down For You. Everything about the Ink up here has a lot to do with a man and a woman riding for each other. From Foolish to all our records when you listen to our music. So when you ask me that, I can't give them no pass. And the thing about it is, what bothers me more than the actual tape was his comment. And his comment was, I was dating an African-American female at the time, and it went bad, and I made this thing, I was stupid and everything. Okay, now that's his comment. That's his words. Now what I'm saying to you is that them words to me is far worse than the actual tape. Because if he would have said, you know, I was freestyling, and you know, I needed something to rhyme. I would say black itch, so I needed something to rhyme with that, so I said black bitch. You understand that? I didn't know what I was talking about. That would be a better excuse. It's still not excusable, but that would have been a better excuse. But the fact that you said you was with a black woman, so you went into the studio and made a record on knowledge of this is what you think of black women, that they bitches, sluts, hoes, and whatever. And I ain't riding with that. I'm never gonna ride with that. And yeah, I don't wanna, cause you know, people know we got problems with them, so I don't, you know, you ask me a question, I'm gonna comment on it. But I haven't went forth for anything because I know people may construe me as, they got a problem, he just beefing with them. Nah, I'm black. I got sisters, I got a mother, and I love black women. And we ride for them, just how they ride for us. So that's what it is. What's also curious is, where's C. Dolores Tucker? Where's Maxine Waters? Where's Dionne Warwick when Snoop and Pac was saying all this? They was riding on him, got Death Row kicked off of Atlantic. These is black women. Where they at? Where they at? It makes me question faith in my people, but I ain't never gonna question my faith in my people. You know, I ride for my people. And I'm not, that's all I'm saying. Yes.
Greg, for a point, I want to know if you change the name, does the lyrical content change from the rappers?
Nah, lyrical content is gonna stay the same. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna tell my artists if they say, yo, it's murder in a rhyme or whatever like that. I'm not gonna say, no, don't say that. Say the ink. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm not gonna say that. I don't tell my artists to do anything. They got lyrical freedom with me 100%. They say whatever they feel as long as it's hot. So I'm not gonna tell them to say, you know, start saying the inks. You can still say it's murder. Like, I wanted to bring up a point, like, you know, we go like this. It's a hip-hop thing. Everyone thinks because we doing Murder Inc., Irv Gotti, that we gang banging or something like that. What's this? The Rock. You understand? Bad Boy, they starting to do their little sign like this. It looks a little weird, but I see Diddy throwing his shit up. You know what I'm saying? So you got Diddy, you got West Side Connection, they throw that. It's a hip-hop thing. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like with me, because of that word murder, anything that they could do negative, they would just, you know what I'm saying? They, yo, you throwing up signs and this gang signs. It's just a hip-hop thing. It's a hip-hop thing.
Before taking another question, I just want to recognize the presence of the official representative of the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan here in New York, Mr. Kevin Muhammad. And Mr. Kevin, before you came in, there was reference made to the great role that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has played in the peace process that helps bring us to today. Next question. Yes.
Dean Meminger from New York One News. You said that one of the reasons for changing the name is because I guess some people in the media or some people pretended they didn't know what it meant. But there are a lot of young kids out there who listen to hip-hop who feel they have to be tough, they have to be hard. Do you think changing the name will help them understand that you don't have to be hard to, you know, to be out there and enjoy the music or enjoy life?
Hopefully. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's hip-hop. Hip-hop is the strangest thing to me in the world, because when you come in, everything is about real, the streets, and looking for that love from the streets by any means, doing whatever you gotta do, you know, the streets. And it's like, when you get in and you evolve and you start to grow up, sometimes your thoughts and stuff change, but hip-hop sometimes won't let you change. They ain't gonna let you change. And if you do change, they're gonna be like, you're whack now, or whatever. So it's like, but hip-hop is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? You see Jay, you know, he got dudes taking off their jerseys, putting on their button-downs now. So hip-hop is different. Like, when it first started, I never thought rappers would be 30, 40 years old and putting out albums. It was something of the youth. So that said, like, I think hopefully we will now, when people move in a positive direction, people will embrace it and stuff like that.
I want to make a statement about that, because there's also a perception.
Can you come up to this podium, please? I appreciate that.
There's this perception because the media finds negativity newsworthy, not only in hip-hop. I went and saw Dalai Lama. I think, Mr. Kevin, you went, right? You sat in the grass?
Yes, sir.
Right, so we went and saw the Dalai Lama speak. There were 400,000 people there. And he gave a beautiful message. And the next day, it was almost, couldn't find a trace of it. Or very little mention of the fact that he had come to New York with such a beautiful message. I think there was a guy sitting on a milk crate on the cover of the newspaper or something. I don't know. But whatever it wasn't significant. So what's newsworthy from hip-hop is not always the essence of what the whole cultural phenomena has to offer. You go to any high school in America, certainly an urban community in America, and you ask how many of you write poetry, most 70-80% of kids will raise their hand. And almost all of what they write is from the heart, and from the heart is almost always only good. Or higher aspirations come out. And Keeping It Real has had a lot of meanings in hip-hop. I remember when I started to manage Fresh Prince, it was all because he had got punched in the eye. And he said that, they asked him what he did, and he said, I held my eye. And he was keeping it real. So, the Reverend Run is not here today, but Run, all they ever talked about was going to school and church and escaping the plight, you know, the poverty and the ignorance that's in, some ignorance that's in his community. And Minister Ben was the head of the NAACP, and he almost got fired for using them to register voters. I see P. Diddy run the marathon and put $2 million back in public education. I see Eminem sponsoring the Hip Hop Summit to Detroit mayor, and 11,000 kids coming out just with paper and pen, not to see no concert. I saw Will Smith and Wycliffe sponsor the Hip Hop Summit in Philadelphia. Governor Randall told us we registered 80,000 voters in a 3-week period. I see Beyonce sponsoring our upcoming summit. I can go on and on. No rapper misses no rally. I saw the mayor put $345 million back in our education budget because the rappers came out. I saw the governor rewrite a bill that I know that when session comes, we're going to change the Rockefeller drug laws. Couldn't none of y'all do it, none of the politicians couldn't do it. So keeping it real has a lot of meanings. And hip-hop, when I hear the gang records, they talked about gang task force and all that shit. Remember all that work that we did to fight gang warfare and activity? They stopped making gang records, and there's more murders now in LA than ever, and there's more gangs than there were when we made those records. We say, fuck the police, fuck them, because they was treating people really badly, as you might. They made dramatic changes in what the police department had to do in Compton. The way that they communicate with the people in Compton is dramatically different because that record was made. So there's the truth. I always say that rap is God's soundtrack, no matter what they say, if it's the truth. They talk about rap violence, kill Jam Master Jay, but so many kids got murdered in Hollis, right, Herb? Constantly. How many people get murdered in Hollis? They're not newsworthy. So you got to listen to what they're talking about. It's a roadmap to, it's a reflection of a lot of the ignorance and poverty that we choose not to address. But our kids are hearing it more now, and hopefully our kids will address these issues. When Murder Incorporated, we know what it meant. Today, just to get y'all off his ass, he changed his name. And plus, it's easy to realize something higher when you don't have the burden of y'all on his ass. The media and others. Everybody, in fact. Law enforcement chasing us, everybody. So I'm just saying that because, we want to call for something higher. We always do. And hip-hop, like jazz or blues or rock and roll, I don't give Shakespeare, Mark Twain's work, all of that. Been called, because it's young people's rebellion against what y'all have already fucked up. So I just want to say that we're here for something better and we want to share it with you. And,
Right, we're going to take your questions. I just want to give Minister Kevin an opportunity, since Minister Farrakhan has been so central to the process of the evolution of addressing issues where we can move forward with the culture. So let's hear from Minister Kevin Muhammad.
Peace be unto everyone that's here this morning. First, let me say it is most fitting, my dear brother Irv Gotti and Ja Rule, and the Inc. family, I think that's what it is, right? The Inc. Records is most fitting because with the name of Ja Rule, God rules, and the name of Shanti that comes from the root of African tribes, and it's moving forward in this modern day society. It is fitting that the Inc. represents that which labels its artists. We understood what Murder Inc. could have meant. We know it didn't represent murder in the streets, but it represented something that was hot. See, you got to understand, black and white, we call for these things. When I was at Ja Rule's concert last week, I saw a host of Caucasian people in there boogieing and dancing to what Ja was saying and rhythming. But then I go back to the interview, Ja, between you and Minister Farrakhan, or the dialogue, and how Minister Farrakhan made a note before the world, MTV, BET, on the clear channels, on Radio 1, where we want everyone to be very clear that there are segments within the white community who do not like what black rappers are doing and want their children back because they don't want them to continue to follow that way. Now, whether that fits